What's going on, guys? Alec here from Oz Fury Gaming. Today I'm here to talk about all the stuff that's happened in the previous week of Star Citizen and try and move through all the stuff that is going to be pretty important to the people who play it. Now, I'm sorry for it being a bit late, but let's get stuck into it, shall we? So this week's been the hype about the Cyclone. It's built by Tumbril and it's a ground vehicle. It has 5 different variants. The first variant's a standard variant which can actually carry a cargo. This variant comes at $40 US for the Warbond version or $50 for the standard version. Both come with LTI. Next up is the turreted version, like I like to call it. There's no cargo available. This comes at $55 for the standard version or $45 for the Warbond version. From here we have the RC, which is like a race version. Pretty handy, RC race car sort of thing, yep. Anyway, moving on, we have the Warbond version at $45 and the standard version at $55, followed by the RN, which is a reconnaissance variant, so better scanning gear. That's at $45 for the Warbond version and $55 for the standard version. Now last up is the anti-aircraft version, so this will actually fire missiles at ships flying about. This comes in at $70 for the standard version or $60 for the Warbond version, so quite an So after looking at those different variants, we have the packs available to us. So we can pick up an Anvil Terrapin and a standard Cyclone for $250 there, or a Warbond variant at $225. The Mega Pack at $405 or the Warbond variant at $375. That pack includes all Cyclone variants, Ursa Rover, a Grey Cat PTV, and the Lynx Rover. The Lynx Rover is basically like a luxury variant. It's meant to come with the Constellation Phoenix, apparently. From here, we have the off-road vehicles. So that includes a Grey Cat, an Ursa Rover, and a Cyclone there. So $110 for the standard or $90 for the Warbond variant. The last pack available to us, guys, is $255 US for the game credits, or $230 for the Warbond variant, which if you're unsure uses cash only, you can't use game credits. So guys, another thing too, 3.0 dates haven't changed. Been a few delays on certain sections, but it's still up to date. So let's talk about kiosks. Kiosks is going to be a big thing in the game because it's what's going to allow our economy to fluctuate as the game progresses to its fully fledged build state. Now, as well as the economy, it also creates different experiences, different ways to play the game. You can move cargo, you can do protecting cargo, you can do recipes, so different parts of different sections of the game will be able to be built together to sort of move on, so you can actually do processing of things and sell them on. Now also too, when it comes to kiosks, there are different types. So like for example here at Grim Hex, you've got this old DOS looking sort of station. The next one we're about to see is sort of more of a mid-class, upper class. Note too, the colours change depending on vendor. So for Kasabo here, you can see it's the Kasabo colour. Note too, here we see that you can buy ship parts and ships, going really quick, but it's annoying, but it's there. As well as to showing off here what it's like to come along and about these little vendor terminals. Showing off again too how the cargo fits. So they did talk to a lot more things, guys, but I'm just sort of running over the basics here. Now moving on to the rest of the ATV, they're showing off airlocks, basically how they're going to start in the start stage, blocking out, and eventually end up in this high-tech stage where it looks really beautiful, and I'm really interested to see what they can do with it. And it's not just in ships or things like that, it's for all different bases. Also too, they've been working on elevator tech, showing off how it's going to work. Note too, it says to core, so might be adding another level to Grim Hex, or we could be in the top section where you can get your ship from. Now more on elevators too, guys. They talked about how they did a toggle with the game code, so they decided that we probably should work on this and make it work properly, and now they've got very little delay with how things work. Other side of it too was submission. So if you're unaware of what this is basically what allows AI to think and allow mission givers to give it missions and missions to work together. So they've been testing the tool as well as building upon it, basically doing stress tests and really sort of pushing it to its limits and making sure that the tool is where they want it at a satisfactory level for the game. I will always love Star Citizen for the fact that they are about that fidelity and building the game so beautifully, and if it takes longer, I don't care, because I'm always more for quality over quantity. Moving on from my little gas bag there, they're showing off 2 people walking around on the moons, and notice, they've got low G. This is really going to be a difference, especially when you're trying to go for those headshots. People just slowly falling down, and then bang, you're gone. After from here, they were showing off some flora, which will obviously be used for planets. So that was nice to see that they're really working ahead of where they're releasing now, which is always a very positive sign. After this too, they were showing off roads. Now they were talking about how roads are being built in game, like how the game engine renders them. So they're not so much just painted on, but they actually have basically they 3D render how it's going to be. They then curve the ground and the road to sort of match themselves in a nice plane, and then they actually apply a skin over the top. What they have here is just a generic skin, well, render for the road, but they sort of, will change it up as the game progresses for whatever planet, outpost or need, the roads will be required for. Next up, guys, we have some before and after shots of the planet Delma, showing how the art guys have been really working to, sort of get the lighting working correctly, get the whole feel of the planet really coming together, especially in this shot here where we have like the big tower. As you can see the lighting between before and after, it's nice to see that coming together. Also too, they've been working on internal stuff, so after the checkpoint they were showing us last week, they're showing what, the admin office and how a few different of the vendors will be looking, so that was really neat to see come together too. Now another thing they were showing was AI companions, how they're going to work. So in a cover situation here, say you're in a firefight, how will they move, how will they interact with you when you're trying to, progress through a hallway perhaps, or trying to escape after stealing some cargo. As we can see, the AI companion moves and takes cover and has a real sort of lifelike animation work when he's behind cover, looking around, doing all sorts of. Next up here, guys, they were showing off the sniper rifle. Take note of how it looks now, and then it cuts, and then we have a look at what it looks like, after. See how it's different? You don't see the snout of the gun. You're not seeing all that sort of business like you're actually looking through a scope. Then also too, they're showing off the handgun. Not so much of what it looks like in game, but showing off the different skins and how they're going to apply and giving us a rough idea. Speaking about the handguns, they've been working on the handgun that we have now, the ballistic one, getting a nice redo there. Looks beautiful. Now we have the Klaus and Werner laser repeater. Quite a beautiful looking weapon in my opinion. Hopefully it meets up to where the Panther repeater sits. So I'm looking for that to be really nice. As well as too as the Apocalypse Arms scattergun from size 1 to 6 is going to be all the way through. But they've just done size 1 to 3 at the moment. So I'm really excited to see these new guns and actually try them out and get some different weapon customizations happening. Now speaking about ships too, we have here one of the probably more important things from the ATV, which was that when you get a mission, say to go collect something, there's only ever one. There's not going to be 2 or 3 or 4 for the amount of people going to get it. There will only be one, and basically you got to fight until it respawns, more or less. So say first come first served if 2 people are going for it at the same time. Will this work? Will this won't work? Well, I do like the concept because it creates that real life aspect. This is a space sim, guys. Remember, not everyone wins. Not everyone gets the good luck. So I'm kind of happy for it, but also will be a pain in the ass if it happens to me. So we'll see how it goes. What they've been working on too is ship takeoffs from, it's being stationary on ships and how this was going to look and work and how the animations will work together. So that was been really nice to see all that sort of biz come together. Here they're showing off the 3D holographic animation projection, which is really pretty and really cool to see. I imagine this will be mainly for Squadron 42 work, but still. And then also too, guys, they're showing off here basically how they're able to make animations be exported correctly. They can bake it in Animator and then move it out so it doesn't basically get debunked and faulty. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. Hope to catch you guys around the verse. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and toodaloo.